The day I got fired and my dad died, and how it changed my life. I got fired from my job the same day my dad died. I had been with the MNC for 7 years, pouring my heart and soul into it, and then it ended with a cold email from HR, right in the middle of the party. I was standing there holding a glass of champagne, reading that email while my wife tried calling me. She dialed my number 19 times that night. I was too busy pretending everything was fine. By the time I got to the hospital, it was too late. My dad was gone. The last thing he told me in our last conversation was, "Work less, son. Spend more time with your daughter. Life's too short." That night, I found my daughter crying in her room. She had drawn a family picture for school, but she drew me as a stick figure, far away from everyone else. "That's Daddy at work," she explained. "I made you small because I don't remember what you look like." She was only 5. My wife, trying to keep it together, was crying too. Not just for Dad, but for us, for the mess we were in. We were drowning in debt, buried under a mortgage. The worst part was that we were strangers living in the same house. One day, I found a box with all my college soccer trophies and a business plan I'd written in high school about opening a soccer academy. My dad had kept it all these years. There was also a note, "For when you remember what really matters, use Dad's life insurance money to open that academy." I felt guilty, using money from his death to start over, but something deep down told me he'd approve. I started small, just me, a rented field, and a handful of kids. The first year was a disaster. I almost lost everything twice, but for the first time, I was home for dinner every night. That was when I learned my son was being bullied at school, and I enrolled him in martial arts. I also discovered my daughter had an amazing soccer kick, something I would have never known if I was stuck behind a desk. 3 years later, my academy has expanded to 2 more locations. During my daughter's soccer game this week, she scored a goal, pointed at me in the stands, and looked up at the sky, whispering, "Thanks, Dad."